Hi, I'm Rachel, where I live in faith every day, and this is life. Welcome, guys! Six things to never say to a fellow Christian. I think it's really important to be able to express and communicate exactly what we are trying to say or what we mean, and how you say things is and what you say is very as important as your intentions, if not more, because that's how it's going to be received by the individual. And these are some of the words and some of the phrases that I have found that can be a little bit like standoffish, or can cause people's knee-jerk response defense mechanisms to go up to the point where they don't want to listen to anything else that you have to say. And so understanding this, it may help you or others to be able to communicate in a more loving and a more kind and more receptive way. Number one, don't say the word should or the word need in any shape or form. Because you should is indicating that they are doing something wrong. It's almost taking away your freedom of choice and freedom of will. They know what they are doing wrong. They just don't know how to fix it. So instead of telling them what they should do, it's better for you to figure out what is causing them to act a certain way or to behave a certain way or to interact in a certain way. You need to is also something that I think should be taken out entirely, because we don't know what they need. The only person that knows what they need is themselves and God. Your only job is to help them figure out what it is that they need. So maybe instead of saying you need, it's like, I am wondering if this is what you might need, and see if that resonates with them. If it doesn't, then that's not what they need. So should and need should be never said. Second one, starting with the word you. Okay, just starting with a sentence you can be already a turnoff. If you start with the word you, it sounds very like you're attacking. And so the moment you say the word you with anyone, or you start a sentence with the word you, the person already has this knee-jerk response of shutting their ears and not wanting to listen to what else you have to say. So instead of what's starting with the word you, my suggestion is to start the sentence with I. So I'm wondering if you feel like this, or I am wondering if this is what's going on with you, or I am wondering, or I'm curious. That way it helps them to be a little bit more receptive to what you have to say, and maybe even answer the questions that you have for them. Third, don't use the word why. Growing up, a lot of people hear the word why from their parents. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? You shouldn't act that way. Why, right? And so when people hear the word why, it's almost, again, a knee-jerk response of feeling like they're getting in trouble, feeling like they did something wrong. So you don't want them to feel that way. So instead of using the word why, try to figure out exactly what it is that's going on with them, so that you can be a lot more specific and be able to work with that. So instead of why are you acting that way, I would say something like, I'm wondering what's causing you to respond in this way or react this way. I'm wondering what made you feel like this. I'm wondering what made you so angry. Not why were you so angry. Hear the difference? To not say the Bible says this, the Bible says that. It's good that the Bible, that you're referencing the Bible, but it's how you use it. if someone is going through a tough time and they come to you because they're struggling with something like an addiction or something, and you're saying, yeah, but the Bible says not to do this, or the Bible says what you're doing is wrong. They already know that it's wrong. That's why they're coming to you. So instead of saying the Bible says this, right? Try to figure out what's causing them to do certain things. Like, let's say if they are like getting addicted to, drugs or alcohol, be like, I'm wondering what, prompted you to use it in the first place, right? Like what's going on with you, and then try to figure out where the main cause of the issue is rather than the symptomology. For the Bible says, I think it's really important to use as a backup. So like, let's say, for example, you're talking about something and, they're like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. Then you can say, yeah, and the Bible also talks about it as well. Like Jesus did this and Jesus did that. I think that could be very useful and very supportive, because then you're backing up what you're saying with the Bible. So instead of using it as a weapon, if you can use it as another source of information to back up and to support the necessary things, I think you can use it as a medicine rather than a weapon. Another one is Ellen White says. It's very similar to the Bible says. This is more geared towards Seventh-day Adventists. But Ellen White says this, and Ellen White says this. Again, same thing with the Bible says this. Instead of using it as a weapon, if we can use it as like a medicine to help people, I think that'll be a lot more supporting and a lot more helpful for anyone who is trying to better themselves. I hear this a lot when it comes to parents too. It's when they're reading it, it's, it talks about how a parent should be and how they should make the child feel, make the family feel, and all of this stuff. But the problem is, because we're human, obviously we're going to fall short of that. And so what parents do is they feel inadequate and shame prone because of it. And so they stop reading it. They're like, I can't do it. Again, Ellen White says, Bible says, very similar. It's how you use it. Are you using it as a weapon, or are you using it as a medication to help heal, like a herbal medication? It's like another additive, right? So now the last one, this one's quite big because of the fact that I feel like because people don't know how to help people or what to say in certain situations because it's a big issue, or they don't know the answer. They feel like this is the go-to answer. And I will tell you right now, this go-to answer is probably the worst thing that you can do to anyone who's struggling or who's going through a difficult time or is trying to figure out how to take care of themselves or heal. And that is, think of the good and find something to thank God for. Or, God says to be thankful even in the hardest times. Maybe God gave you this for a reason. Maybe, you should learn to find the positive in this negativity. No. Okay, the answer is absolutely not. But what you can do is help them be in that negative feeling and to understand it. So if they're going through a hard time, validate it. Be like, man, that must be really tough for you to be in this situation. I'm sure it's really tough because you feel like you don't know what to do. You kind of feel lost, or you feel stuck, or, going on and on and on. Sometimes, or majority of the time, when they are coming to you to just talk about these things, is because they just need someone to listen to. They just need someone to understand them. They just need someone to vent to. And instead, what a lot of people feel like they need to do is to provide a solution or a suggestion to fix the problem. But by trying to fix the problem, is you're being blind to the very person right in front of you. So sometimes suggestions are good, but majority of the time, I would say 99% of the time, the best thing that you can do if you don't know the right answer is to just listen and to continue listening and validating them and just trying to understand where they are coming from. That's it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you would like to be notified for videos like this, hit the bell. And until next time, bye guys.